Today's guest on the House of Meaning podcast is Sven Fisher from Cottage and Castle Buyers Advocacy, who shared with us his strategies for obtaining the best properties on the market here in Melbourne. Sven, so we first met at a sustainable real estate event.
Yes, that's true. In Carlton with Architects Declare.
That's right.
Great organisation.
Yes. They're mutual friends. Sounds a bit... It sounds a bit like a romance story, how it starts, a buyer's advocate and a builder. But
okay, I'm interested in where this is going now. Okay.
But it was very surprising for me, really, generally, that whole event, to have real estate agents and buyers advocates in Melbourne. And, of course, architects, very much architects, drive this change in the industry. We're moving towards more energy efficient, more biophilic designed, more passive solar homes. But a buyer's advocate there was interesting to see. So what were you doing there?
And a selling agent as well. Lisa Roberts from Bell, who presented really well. I kicked the idea off to the event actually with Stefan,
Stefan Welsh,
who used to be the chairperson of Architects Declare at the time. And it really just came out of a lack of knowledge in the industry. So maybe just about me, I was working as a real estate agent for 14 odd years. I left to work in a proptech startup. The startup was trying to solve a problem around Scope 3 emissions reporting and efficiency reporting on residential dwellings. So how efficient are we? How much carbon does a house cost? Fast forward a few months, as it happens with a lot of startups, didn't quite work out. And I've had for years in the back of my head to change tact in the industry a little bit. I didn't want to leave the industry. I love what I'm doing. I love working with people. I like the subject matter. It's a very versatile industry, probably similar to what you're doing as well. You know, no two deals are the same, no two projects are exactly the same. So, it's a great diverse area. It just doesn't get boring.
No 2 days are the same. Being a builder.
No, which is a good thing.
Yes.
So I decided to make the switch, and the network I started building during the startup phase. That was all in the area of building efficiency, of sustainable materials, which was not something that I touched on beforehand. Just because it was not talked about in the industry, with industry professionals. It's all very numbers based, and we're not talking about the actual asset or the quality of the asset, the performance of the asset as such.
The quality of the actual home that's built on the property.
Correct. And so for me, I thought that's a bit odd, right? There is professionals who are representing an asset, and there is a little bit of a lack of knowledge in there. So the idea for the event, I'm rambling on a little bit, but the idea of the event was to try and get a few real estate agents into the room as well, which we didn't quite achieve to the degree we hoped for. And to try and actually start a conversation there a little bit, because it gets more and more important. The housing stock gets worse by the day, pretty much. But I think we'll talk about that in a little bit further down the track. And there is change that needs to happen, and there are knowledge gaps that need to be filled, both on agent sides as well as on consumer sides. So many consumers also don't know, what's a net hearse rating. Consumers often don't know, walking into a house they're looking to buy, what have they done to it? Is there insulation in it? It looks nice, it looks new, so yeah, sure, there's something behind the walls. And it doesn't come until the first winter they realize, well, there isn't actually. So there's a lot of gaps, and I feel there's a lot of opportunity in that space.
Huge. Well, I mean, a lot of people think a double brick wall is is insulation. People think double brick is insulation, and even
Yeah.
I actually heard from a client. Oh, it wasn't a client. It was someone we're working with. They had external design, and they were talking with another builder who believed the concrete was insulation. There's a massive knowledge gap here, and it's scary because a lot of it is industry professionals, and I think real estate there'd be even bigger knowledge gaps. And you're selling this product, it's the highest value product people will ever buy in their life, and there's there's this unknowing about what you're actually getting. It's a huge.
There's a bit of a structural problem in there. The overarching concept of caveat emptor, buyer be aware, essentially rolls the entire responsibility over to the buyer.
The buyer, right.
That's problem number one. And problem number two is that we have information asymmetry in the market. So, meaning buyers don't actually know what they're looking at until they have it professionally assessed. And I'm not aware of anyone in Melbourne, certainly none of my market companions, and also none of the sell side players who would go through the hassle and get a NETIS report done. Right? But it is, granted, it is a little bit complicated. Many of the houses I'm looking to buy are renovation projects. Very few are completely done.
Yeah.
So it's in that space, it's not really that important. You know that it's probably 1 or 2 stars.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter because you're about to do some work to it anyway. So it's important to plan and do those changes down the track
And understand the potential of the property.
Exactly, and that's what it's much more about, like the potential. You know, we in preparation we spoke about north facing and a south facing backyard, right? And the premium buyers are willing to pay for a north facing backyard, and how easy it is in the planning phase to work with a south facing living area and to brighten it up. If you think about it from the beginning, and if you know what the options are that are on the table.
Definitely presents its challenges from my perspective. That it's funny to hear, actually, interesting to hear that north, the premium for north facing, it kind of makes sense. My view is that north facing is a premium. I wouldn't buy a property without north to the rear. I just wouldn't. I just feel, unless you got a big bucket of money, because my view is that if you buy a north-facing property, you need to get sort of creative. It does bring out the most creative designs, in my view. Some of the most impressive designs we've done have been a south-facing yard, because you've got to work for it. Your internal courtyards, or you bring the outside in, and it can work really well.
And that's where it's the smart move, especially if you're looking to buy something where you're probably going to have to redo the entire back anyway.
Yep.
Why pay for the premium?
You can save 200,000 or so on the purchase.
If we're as you just said, like some of the most interesting and best designs you've seen were on south-facing rears.
Yep.
So it all comes down to the architect you've got involved there as well. For me, I've got a handful of architects, or not even a handful. There's about 3. Depending on the area we're looking at, who are always on call, pretty much, just to give some feedback and some ideas about planning restrictions, because that's their domain. I'm not trying to be a jack of all trades there.
Yeah.
Where I know what I don't know, but I've got people in my network who I can rely on, such as yourself as well. Yep. Hey, what can be done, if we're trying to alter, a back extension. Or what can we do to have this existing dwelling, the way it stands, brought up to an energy efficiency level that is on par with a new build. And it's quite surprising. Clients are always surprised by how little investment actually is required to literally just go from a 3 to a 6-star dwelling.
Yep.
It's very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's, of course, always good to know a builder. When you want a door hung or something, you can
Yes.
pick up the phone. But to continue our story, obviously, we met at the Sustainable Real Estate event, and then we had each separate clients going for the same property.
Yeah.
In Albert Park.
In Albert Park, yes.
And, of course, you took the win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that is an exceptional property, again, north to the rear.
That one was north to the rear.
Beautiful. And a terrace, and it had incredible, and a big laneway at the rear. It was never going to get built up, shadowed from the north. It was quite exceptional.
And it was protected from the west as well, with the foliage and the...
Big nature strip in the street. So incredible property, that one. So well done there.
Very, very good, yeah. And we're just finalising the planning application there, actually.
That's exciting.
So that's going to go in the next 2 to 4 weeks, hopefully. We were hoping, it was a bit ambitious, we were hoping to start bulldozing and digging a day after settlement, which was always a little bit ambitious, especially with Portfolio Council.
Indeed.
But no, I think we're making really, really good time there.
Yeah, for sure.
And a very funny story about those underbidders there.
Yeah, that's right. Just missed out. She's still looking. I think she might come back to us with one, which would be nice. Might come back to you with one as well. So tell us, so you spent 13 or 14 years in real estate, and now you're a buyer's advocate. Tell us how and why, and I suppose, so you've started this business, Cottage and Castle, as a buyer's advocacy. Tell us about it.
What would you like to know?
Yeah, the lot. Well, really, I mean, I understand a lot. Well, I've met a few real estate agents that kind of get sick of it, I suppose, or lack of a better term. And they do look for other things to do. We actually had a client years ago that became a small-time developer, was a real estate agent just up the road here in Fitzroy. And then we built 2 sets of 3 townhouses for him. And he did really well. He was in the western suburbs, so Sunshine and Albion, but broke the records in those areas. He was very driven for design. He's quite very particular about it and did really well. So I suppose, what's your story to move away from real estate and then into, I suppose, do you see the buyer's advocacy role helping clients more? Is that where you want to do?
Yes, look, the switch came due to, I was probably just tired a little bit and just needed a break and a cut. And the opportunity that presented itself at the time was, timing just worked out and things looked like they were falling into place very well. And they did fall into place fairly enough. You learn from every experience. The core difference between, what's required to be a selling agent, what's required to be representing buyers is for once you're on the buying side, you've got a different approach to problem solving. Rather than you trying to market this fixed asset. Yes, you can be super creative in the way you're doing it. You can. There's a lot of problem solving involved. It's very, very agile in terms of the work that you're doing. But if you look at it on the buyer side, it's not, because the problem you're trying to solve is it's not the house that stands there. That is what it is, and that needs to find a buyer. It's more about understanding the client's circumstances, their situation, their 5 and 10 year plan, and then try and apply that to a brief. Right, so we're narrowing down towards our non-negotiables. We're narrowing down to our nice-to-haves. Then we're narrowing down on locations, and then it's a process to get clients to understand how houses work, how clients might be able to use different spaces in the houses. And if you have the experience of having done this for so long, you've walked through so many houses. I've walked through so many homes. I've spoken with so many owners about creative solutions to to the spaces they have. Right, so there's a lot of experience that goes into it, and it helps clients to understand, okay, this is not what it is, and this is what it could be quite easily. In a way, I think that's a very rewarding part.
So you said before, sorry, a lot of your clients are looking to purchase to then improve or not knock down, rebuild, but renovate.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
It's a more fluid process, and it's also it's a lot more work than on the sell side. Every mandate, buying mandate, just requires more, right? There's a lot of work that goes into assessing properties, sourcing properties, finding and assessing off-market opportunities.
Gotcha. It seems to be much more personable. I understand the time you spend with clients, and I mean, my experience with real estate's kind of a team, and you might get handballed to the lackey on to open up a property for you. It's not as personable one-on-one as what you're doing.
Yeah. But it's then again, like, it all sounds like I'm a personal shopper, which is probably part of it as well. But it's more the lack of process that buyers have in the way they approach the home buying journey. I don't like the word journey, but the project.
Yes. Yep.
Right. So and a big issue is that people ask me what I do, and I essentially just say I help people get on with their lives. What you find is, on average, it takes about anywhere between 8 to 16 months to find a home, and a lot of that is not because it's impossible to find something. It's about a lack of process on the buying side to narrow down what it is they want, what it is they don't want, why is it that they don't want these things, and then actually making a decision. It's a very draining process for a lot of people. There's a lot of question marks around options. There's a lot of noise in the market that interferes with your decision making. You feel you're out of control to a certain degree because real estate agents are the ones setting the beat. They're very, very good in moving things along and keeping up pressure, and to actually progress the deal they are working on. Whereas with a lot of buyers, that experience is not there. And if you have a clear process, if you know what the next step is, it takes a lot of these pressure techniques estate agents might use away. Right? You foresee them. You know that option A, option B, option C might be happening in the process next. And if you know that those three options are on the table as a next step, you can mentally prepare for it, and you start the decision-making process from a much different point, as if you're being caught completely off guard.
Yeah, got you. For me, as an outsider to the real estate industry, I sort of see it as the real estate agent works for the seller, really, and will really give the property to whoever will accept it at the right price.
Yeah,
like it's not like if it's a square peg in a round hole, but the round hole will accept it, they'll sell it.
Yeah,
like no, not to take anything away from estate agents. It's the way it is.
It's the way it is.
And you obviously come from that different angle where you've got a round hole and you're trying to find that round peg to go into it. So it seems to be much more of a compatible sort of trying to align needs with wants.
Trying to align needs with wants
to the product.
And most importantly, give process.
How do you do that with somebody that comes to you? What's your sort of process for that? How do you get that insight from them?
I spend a lot of time with them.
Right.
It all comes down to properly understanding where they're at, and I just found the best thing to do that is to just sit there and say nothing.
Yeah, right. A counsellor.
Yeah,
The counselling session.
very much. Yeah, you wear a lot of hats.
Yep.
And try to read between the lines. I like to ask questions about their personal circumstances, and it does get quite personal as well, especially with home buyers, because you are talking about their next four walls, if you will.
And the way they live often. Yeah,
it's quite hard for that for that not to get personal.
We go through a similar thing. I mean, design and build. You enter into people's houses. Yeah. Often, they got kids, and we're going to the houses sometimes before kids go to school, and you can imagine.
Yeah.
You see people, living their life, and life is messy. So that's the way it is, and it's kind of that.
And that's a really good point. Life is messy, and then you're going to put these people into these situations where things are even get more messy in a environment there is very little experience in.
Yeah. Yeah. Outside the comfort zone there. Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of people for whom that's not a problem. They can do those things very well, and that's great.
Yep.
There's many for whom it is a problem, but who feel like who might be a little bit overconfident.
Yeah.
In the way they're approaching things.
Yes.
That's the end of the spectrum where it might take 16 months to buy.
Or correct me if I'm wrong, they might buy too soon, overconfidently, and make an error.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
that does happen, unfortunately.
I can imagine. It's a big error to make.
Depends on how long you're staying in there, probably. But yes, it can
$2
be
million error.
Very, very detrimental. We're seeing a lot of properties come back to market that were bought during the COVID rush.
Yeah, right.
And there are very, very few properties who will be selling for a nominal profit.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's very it's you need to find the right balance.
Yeah, gotcha.
You need to find the right balance.
So I imagine your ideal client would be somebody that has a capacity issue, whether it's money, like in terms of they've got a fixed budget, let's say, like not an open book to go to infinity. Whether it's money, whether it's time, or maybe there's another constraint. I'm not sure, but that seems to be, because I imagine you would prevent people spending and wasting their time just chasing rabbits down holes, trying to find the right property, because you're the one doing it. They're really engaging to do it.
Well, that's the efficiency that the process brings, obviously. But if you're asking who are my clients, my clients know what they don't know.
Right.
So they are aware. Yep. They are aware of their own shortcomings, or they know what they don't have. They might not have the time.
Yeah.
Life gets busy if you're thinking of 2 professionals and a couple of little ones in primary school, and all of a sudden you have a project, or I say a project, you go and you decide it's time to upgrade the house. That's a full-time job on top. You need to learn the industry. You need to learn the current market trends and the pricing. That takes a lot of time in itself, and a lot of it is gut feel as well. There are just aspects that contribute to pricing that you can't see on a piece of paper. Beyond just bedrooms, bathrooms, age of renovation, cost of renovation. Well, that's all good and fine, but if you're going out into your backyard and you're looking at, I don't know, like an industrial site or a housing tower or whatever it may be, you can't really, how do you value that? And there it's very, very important to have been through other homes and know what, why they have sold where they've sold. That might look expensive on paper, they might look cheap on paper, but most of the time, if you look beyond just the pure data, okay, this is why. This is why.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, there's obviously assets that influence the value of a property, all properties,
yeah.
of course.
Always.
Me and my wife I've probably got more of the system in my head of what we look for when we buy.
Yeah.
And I mean, and for everyone it should be different. Of course, I'm a builder, so I should be useful. You know, I should be able to get a property and create something with it. So I'm always looking for a property that's versatile. You know, whether it runs from like sort of like Dank Street in Albert Park.
Yeah.
Runs from street to street. You know, it's got 2 entrances potentially. Whether it's a corner block.
Yeah.
But of course, corner blocks can come with some caveats too, depending the area.
Depends if you like to be on a corner or not.
I've always been fearful of potentially graffiti. Although I feel like some of the heritage is actually appreciated by the artists. They don't typically touch it, but
you could just pay someone for a nice mural, and then once the wall is painted, they usually don't touch it. That was the mannerism.
That was the
when my peers were doing things like this
in Berlin. I'm sure.
Yes,
Berlin and Melbourne are very similar in that sense.
Yeah, right.
So when someone comes to you and they've lost 3 properties at auction, what's usually the reason behind it?
There's usually not a single reason for it. And 3 is an interesting number. It can range from anywhere to 3 to 7. From 3 to 7.
Well, 7 would be pretty demoralising.
I think the reason is twofold. You as a buyer, you can either go in with wrong expectations, be that because you relied on agents' feedback in terms of pricing, and I want to stress it's not all agents. There's very, very good operators in Melbourne, but there is still a conflict of interest. They don't really, whatever is being said there, always read it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, they're supporting the seller, not the buyer.
Of course.
Yeah.
It might come down to their own pricing due diligence. If you go through and you through the databases online, you go through realestate.com, Cotality, previously CoreLogic or Pricefinder, to find comparable sales to justify what the value for the property might be you're looking at. You're not honest in your assessment. There's a little bit of a bias-driven decision making as to which properties are similar to the one that you're looking at. Obviously you don't want the price to be on the lower side, so it's quite easy to be swayed by that. So that might be another reason. And the third, and probably the most important one though, is a lot comes together on auction day that buyers are not prepared for. You always hear, you do always hear the saying of auction fever, right? Or
for sure.
The competition, the trying to win.
Yep.
It goes much deeper. It is not trying to win. It's the fear of losing. You see, it's quite interesting when if you were to put your hand up at an auction, you're signing an emotional contract. To purchase the property. So in your head, you've got a signed contract.
You've got a what if, imagine if.
Exactly. And now the person who's standing to your left over there is going to take that contract away from you. So you're not going from a neutral no purchase feeling into your next decision. You're coming from a position of you've just lost something into the next decision. So it creates an escalation of commitment. I'm not sure that, those are a lot of terms, but maybe we can add those in the notes on the podcast for listeners to look up, because they're very, very important concepts.
Yeah, great. Yeah, if you could break that down.
Behavioral. So you end up in an escalation of commitment. You've already invested so much resource and so much energy into
heart rate's lifted
into a project, and you're not willing to give up on this. You're thinking to yourself, well, was all of this now worthless now? So you keep on going, even though the decision you're making is actually worse. And there might be options out there on the marketplace which, once a certain price is achieved, might actually be a better option.
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot of these tactics, or not, they're not tactics, these psychological effects that come into play during auctions. And you just said it, the heart rate goes up. Not everyone will be standing in front of a crowd of 30, 50, 100 people and telling them how much money they are willing to spend on a home.
Yeah.
Right?
When you think about it, it's really one of the most intimidating sort of events that humans sort of put themselves through. It's like other than sports and that sort of thing, which is, of course, incredibly voluntary, but we need to buy homes, and often we need to buy them through auction. It's a very high pressure stage for the average person.
There's a lot that comes into play, and you can do all your due diligence, and you always hear other advocates just suggesting, the best tip I can give you is to set your budget and to stick to it. Well, that's really, really easy set. It's very, very, very difficult to do. What's more important is to understand why you're actually feeling compelled to keep on going, and why you're experiencing this loss inside, even though you haven't had it in the first place. Yeah. So without a signed contract, you've got nothing.
Yes.
So all you have is an emotional contract.
Yes.
To purchase the property.
Yes.
It's not a loss. It's really a neutral no purchase situation. And the more you're aware of why you're feeling what you're feeling in that situation, I think the more likely you are to actually be able to, follow the golden rule of stick to your budget.
Yeah, stick to your guns. Yeah. So my client again that lost to you and your client was very impressed with your presence at the auction, standing right by the agent, arms crossed, intimidating figure. And
Did I have my arms crossed?
Oh well, I can just imagine you.
I don't usually like to cross my no. I like to be friendly.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think, you see, I don't subscribe to the idea of having to impose yourself.
Yep.
If you're friendly and approachable, there's no reason.
Well, she was very impressed by just I suppose a no nonsense approach that was effective. Simply, whatever you did was effective. It got the job done. And
I think
client owns a property.
I think this might actually be a really good tip for listeners. What you do is, if you're going to an auction, you've got all your due diligence done, and your instinct tells you this is a good house.
Yep.
To just go to the auction with the attitude of not wanting to leave with anything else but a signed contract. As long as you tell yourself, your body language changes, and you'd be surprised how important body language is during auctions. And it's not as you might think, as you said, I'm standing with my arms crossed and tall. That's not important. I think what's important is the way you're presenting yourself when you're bidding. If you're being hesitant, or if you keep turning around and speaking to your significant other, you're signaling weakness. So my best tip is to literally, if it's your turn, just count 2 or 3 Mississippis, and do this for every one of your bids. Just keep the intervals consistent. And you'd be much better off. You have a little bit of time to breathe, to just calm yourself down and take the next step.
And say it with conviction, it seems.
Yes. Just don't be hesitant. Use your normal voice. Don't be hesitant. Don't try to impress or be someone you're not. If you're afraid of speaking up, you can just not. Just be yourself. Be yourself, and slow it all down to a pace in which you're comfortable. It shows a level of authority.
Control.
If you have control over yourself, you're signaling to everyone else that you have control, essentially.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you what's your playbook for an auction. Well, I think you just gave it.
It's one. It's one. It always depends. It depends on who's there on the day. It depends on the clients. It depends on whether the clients, how much the clients are willing to pay an emotional premium for a home. Like no home always ever gets sold purely on the asset value, on the academic value. You know, there's always a certain emotional component to it. So it depends on how much there is, how emotionally invested the client is. It depends on the competition. It depends on the auctioneer. Oftentimes as well. Different auctioneers have different playbooks, and it pays off to know how they work.
Would your advice be to get friendly with an auctioneer? Is there any point to that?
What harm could it do?
Probably no point not to, is there?
Yeah. Like just, I'm not a friend of mind games during those transactions.
Yep.
I like the agent to know that I'm interested in a house, so you know I know that he's not going to sell it away from underneath me without giving me an opportunity to speak. You know, it's you come across the most interesting characters in the industry and the most interesting approaches, and I can tell you from experience as well from the sell side, I like to deal with people who I like we all do. So, yes.
Yep, of course.
Don't make an enemy of the person from whom you want something.
Yes, of course. Very wise words. No, very interesting. I think there's a lot to take from your experience and insight into.
It helps to understand how the sell side operates, and it helps to understand the psychology of the sell side, the dynamic between the agent and the vendor at halftime during the auction.
Yep.
And auctions are a two-sided sword because the vendor is also at their most vulnerable at the auction.
For sure. Yep.
You know, so it's not only the buyer on whom the pressure is, there is the vendor as well.
So after everything you've seen, do you have a working definition of what a good home is? Genuinely good home.
Yeah, true.
Is.
True.
I mean, I know it's the same, horses for courses, but certainly we have favourites.
It is horses for courses. And a good home for me can be a terrible home for you.
Yes. Yes.
I think, look, a good home does what you need it to do, and it makes you feel good while it's doing it.
Yep.
Right? I know it's a very philosophical answer, but it's, you know, what's right for someone is wrong for someone else.
Yes.
In a way. And I'm not a fan of just hinging a good home on the value or the growth potential of the asset.
Yep.
Especially not if you're buying a principal place of residence, and you know what the data tells you should be buying if you want to have maximum capital growth in your asset. Well, what's that going to do for you if you absolutely hate it?
Of course. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you have to strike a balance there, I feel, to an extent. I mean, obviously, everyone should buy a home where there's growth potential in it because it's such a huge investment and a large chunk of our money is tied up in it. It's very, very important. I don't suggest you buy a cottage next to a train track because you're a train watcher, right? That would not be a good idea. But I also don't suggest you must follow the investor guidelines of what to buy and where to buy for your principal place of residence if it just completely doesn't align with what you want out of the home, how you live your life.
Gotcha. Is there a typical property that your clients are attracted to, or typically drawn towards?
Oh, it's always period homes.
Always period, yeah.
It's always period homes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Which makes sense.
I've seen that the few that you've sent me, and of course, again, Albert Park, they're just beautiful period homes. That one on the corner, I can't remember where that was. That smaller one, it had been renovated. Maybe it was certainly strong.
Oh, I can't remember now. When did I email those?
Oh, geez, a couple of months back, but it was just a beautiful home. Corner block, high brick walls, just an exceptional sort of Victorian era home.
There's a lot of, and you can do a lot with those homes as well.
Yeah.
And what I love, especially around this part of North Port Phillip, Albert Park, Middle Park, St Kilda West, the blocks are starting to get a little bit bigger, is the creative solutions people come up with the constraints of those small blocks. Is amazing, and it's interesting to see what works, where you would think, well, I don't think it works. If you, for example, you have the width of 5 meters, which is not an awful lot. What are you going to do in there? A lot of bars might think, well, it just feels like a tunnel. And how you can actually, how a good architect and a good builder can actually make it work, and make it work so well. It's amazing. Fitzroy as well, Carlton, some very, very creative assets.
It's a lot of the work that we've done with the heritage restorations in and around Fitzroy, Carlton, Collingwood. Those narrow sites. Construction-wise, very challenging to work within, but you can get incredible results. One that comes to mind is just down the road here in Johnson Street, the violin shop. So the clients, they own the violin shop, and we built them a home basically, or renovated the property to create a home above it. While the violin shop was still running, we insulated it all off, and now it's this. We use this perspex. It's kind of like this insulated roof sheet above the stair voids, and kind of because we couldn't do too much with a light well because of the shop, but it basically acts as this light well, just floods. It's got an internal window, floods the living room with lights. It's beautiful. It's one of Ward's, and it's one of our prime projects that we've ever done. It's probably 2019 it would have been.
That's amazing.
Pre-COVID.
Do you do a lot of retrofit work?
By retrofit,
insulation, windows, maybe wrappings even.
Yeah, we do it with. So the work we do is, I'd term it large scale renovation. So it's we're basically skinning a home. Basically creating a new home out of existing bones. And so it's insulation to double brick walls, new windows. New floors, and all not just a cosmetic retrofit or a basic retrofit. I'd say more intensive. But it would be, I must ask, of course, you're originally from Berlin, Germany. And
that's only where I've studied.
Right.
No, far. We're not going to name the town. No one's going to know it. There were two.
Tries. Come on.
You never know. It's called Vessum.
Vessum.
Right. And at the time I was there in the 80s, I think there were about 2,500 people.
Oh, wow. Small town.
Very small town, and they all met on Sunday at church.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It was a very different environment.
Yeah. Gotcha. Very different to busy, bustling Melbourne or Berlin.
Yes.
But so Germany brought insulation into their building code in the 1950s. Australia did in 2003 or something.
It didn't take them that long, did it?
Oh, good
Really?
Lord. Yeah. 50 years behind in terms of maybe it was the 90s. I should just double check that. Bet it was late. It was no earlier than the 90s. I think it was in the 2000s when I think we went to 5 stars in early 2000s and then 6 stars a little bit later, and now we're at 7 stars, of course. But we're still miles behind Germany. So I'd love your perspective. And sorry, just to say, we've got a retrofit playbook event coming up with Burundara Council and the Sustainable Builders Alliance that I'm presenting at. And so I've been doing a bit of research. So Australia has 11 million homes, And 90% of those 11 million homes were built before energy efficiency standards. So they don't have any insulation. That's a scary thought. And a lot of people, of course, live in these homes in Melbourne that isn't so temperate. It's quite extreme, very cold in winter. Can get to 0. And, of course, we can get to 40 in summer. And to add to that, Australia has more deaths from the cold than Sweden does per capita. And Sweden gets sub-0, like comfortably sub-0. That is an incredibly wild stat.
Interesting bit of trivia.
Yes, it is. Isn't it? It's a terrible bit of trivia.
It is, yeah. Well, I didn't mean interesting.
Yeah, no.
That's
wild.
Wow.
So I'd love your perspective on how, coming from Germany, how do you see the quality of Australian homes, I suppose, in terms of energy efficiency?
I think you've summarised it pretty well. Really, I know Germany started just before my time. I think it was during the 70s to require double glazing.
Yep. In the 70s, double glazing.
70s, yeah.
We don't have it here yet.
The pattern at the time, so I've been told, was very similar to how we have it, how we're going through it in Australia at the moment, where it's seen as a bit of a luxury add-on. And it caught on. People were starting to talk about their houses and what sort of additions or improvements they've made with pride.
Right.
Right? So it was something to show off. It was a sign of status.
Yeah, got you.
Like the Carrara marble here still is for whatever reason. So there's a bit of a history there as well. Government and policies have always been on the front foot when it came to those changes as well. And it goes so far that right now, if you're looking to buy a property in Germany, what you're being given at the point of inspection is a so-called energy passport.
Right.
So it's similar to our netters. It's essentially a piece of disclosure that outlines everything that has to do with the houses, with the building's performance, with the running cost, with the improvements that you've made to it.
It's mandatory?
It's mandatory.
Point of sale?
It's mandatory, yes. You cannot enter into a legally binding contract without it.
Wow. Yeah, it's there's been a lot of talk about that potentially here, as mentioned before we started recording. Canberra have the the existing energy rating scheme of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I think. Well, whatever it goes to. But is that mandatory? The point of sale in Canberra?
Yes,
it is.
Yes. Right. So Canberra in Canberra it's mandatory. Old, no, it's about 30 years old.
Oh wow. Jeez.
The late 90s is when it came into effect. And the funny thing is all states and territories were on board to say, okay, we're doing it. And Canberra is the only territory actually having adopted it.
Yeah, wow.
It's interesting that now we've got about 30 years of data about house price development, return of investment on those improvements. And it's quite interesting how all of this works together. It's quite intricate and complicated. If anyone wants to really explore it, there's a study called "Does Voluntary Disclosure Create a Green Lemon Problem?"
Oh wow!
It's available online. It's incredibly long and incredibly boring to read. But we might put it in the notes. Essentially, it says that unfortunately, all the investment you'd be making into a highly efficient home does not deliver a return of investment in the short to medium term.
Right.
Not when it comes to the sell price. Where it does deliver is if you were to renovate your home. Say the standard is 7 stars at the moment, right? And you were to build your home to an 8-star level. That's where a premium is being paid. So as long as you're building to base,
Yep.
it's probably not worth it.
So if you're improving an existing home from, I mean, the average Australian home is under 2 stars. So if you're improving that just to the standard, you're saying there's no real...
What the study essentially says is you will get an ROI. It might not be financially viable or commercially viable for you to build or renovate a house to 8 stars and to sell it, especially not if you're paying retail rates. If you're a professional developer, there's projects in Melbourne, like the C Street developments, for example, who've shown that you can even build to passive house standards and make it a commercially viable exercise. For your average home builder, that is quite a Herculean task, and it's probably not achievable.
But the average Australian home
for the average Australian home. But as long as you're just doing a little bit more than just a bare bottom standard, you're creating a selling proposition for the home. You're setting yourself apart from the competition on the way on your selling journey. So there will be a payoff, and all of it would then also depend on how the properties are being advertised, how are those efficiency features being advertised in the online campaigns. There's very few agents in Melbourne at the moment who award it more than a footnote.
Yep.
I've only ever seen one agent actually providing a copy of the Natters report for a new build. I think it came out at like 7.8 stars.
Oh, wow.
So it was better than just bare bottom, and they did show it off.
Yep, right.
Those,
and presumably that got a premium? Like
I think they would have. I didn't follow it this closely, and it's been a couple of years as well. There were a lot of properties in between, but it was very popular, that I do remember. There was another example in Elsternwick where a home was built to, I think, almost 8 stars as well. And it sold for $5 million on a 500 square meter block.
Yeah, wow.
In a side street.
Yeah, wow.
Which was, and I think today it still is the highest sell price in that pocket.
Yeah,
that was about a year and a half ago.
But doesn't this study you're talking about...
There's no immediate return.
What does that mean?
That means that
while you're living in it.
If you were to go and buy yourself a project with the intention of flipping it.
Right, okay.
And you're a you're a mum and dad renovator, flipper, and you don't have access to trades prices.
Yep.
You have to pay retail for the renovation.
Yep.
There'd be no chance for you to make a profit similar to just doing the bare minimum and make it look good.
Yeah.
And the requirement, you're not even required to go to 7 stars if you're doing a renovation only.
Yeah, that's right.
Necessarily.
That's right. If you're under 50% of the work. Yeah. So therein lies sort of, people believe quality is like a kitchen and a bathroom, like nice tiling, nice marble.
Fixtures and the finishes.
Fixtures and finishes. But there's so much that goes behind inside a wall. That's where the longevity and the resilience and the energy efficiency of your home exists. It's just so overlooked, especially here in Australia.
It's not spoken about.
No.
I think there's a change that needs to come through where if you have a home that has been built to the standard, you should be putting those features front and center in front of everyone who's looking to buy. Right? Yep. I mean, think about it this way. What have you got to lose?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I know you don't generally want to be the first one to try something new. But you're not trying something new. You're just adding to the existing. So for you to reach out to Thermotech and ask if you could get a cutout from the frame that you've used and leave that in your house with a little note saying what it is and what it does. Yeah. Or if you have a little cutout, you call your builder and ask him if he can make you a little display of what the wall actually
wall
looks
system,
like on the inside.
Yep.
Little things just to add to what it is that you're selling.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe you can make a decent ROI on an efficient home, but you need to be able to sell it.
Of course.
Right? And what I mean by you need to be able to sell it, not you need to be able to put pen to paper and get a contract. You need to be actually able to sell those features to whoever is looking.
Yeah, of course. But I suppose, of course, the people that are looking to build really high quality, healthy and energy efficient homes are the ones that tend to enjoy its benefits. So live in it, over a period of 5, 10, 30 years. They're the ones that are really going to benefit from the homes that we build and the homes that, of course, you're very interested in. The homes that they're building in Germany, really, here they're called a high performance home. In Germany, they're just called a home. It's pretty wild.
They go even further. The council will come with a heat camera and look for leaks.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And you won't get your certificate of occupancy.
Yeah, wow.
If there is a heat leak.
Yeah, wow.
In your house.
Yeah.
But you're right. The turnover and the speed in which we change our houses matters quite a lot as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it matters so much because there's not enough time for the asset to actually appreciate, and for all the extra work you're doing today, that does not need any more work doing to it other than some cosmetics in 20, 30 years' time.
Yep, gotcha.
It's a really interesting problem, and it's not an easy one to solve. There's very it's a very, very difficult situation.
Yeah, yes, it is. I mean, education and discussions like this, I think, are really key to driving that and sharing that knowledge. Before we finish up, I have to ask, this is House of Meaning podcast. Tell me about the home that's most meaning to you through your life.
That's my parents' home.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
Does ever anyone say anything different?
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
So your home is your childhood home.
Oh yeah.
How long were you in it? From what ages?
Oh, I was out of there nice and early when I was 19 and finished school.
Yep. So you spent your whole childhood there?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, wonderful.
Like,
what are your fondest memories of it?
It's very hard to pick one, right?
What's the first one that comes to mind?
The first one that comes to mind is was a soccer pitch that was behind our house. They've now demolished it and built like little boxes there, which wasn't very cool. But you would have to do is just jump the fence. It was a country place, right?
Yeah.
So you just basically jump the fence, and it was quite interesting. The entire neighborhood was full of young families.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So every school holidays, there'd be 20, 30, 40 kids sometimes on that soccer field and the playground adjacent to it, annoying the daylights out of everyone who lived nearby and who was at home during the school holidays as well. It was crazy. It was crazy, and I haven't seen anything like that since.
Yeah, right.
Right?
The world's changed a bit since then.
Yeah.
Kids don't get outside as much.
No, it's a shame. But, it is what it is.
Yes. No, lovely. Oh, thank you very much, Sven.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on, and it was excellent. Thanks for listening to the House of Meaning podcast by Sustainable Homes Melbourne. If you got something out of this episode, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you know someone planning a renovation or new build, send it their way. You can find us at sustainablehomesmelbourne.com.au. Thanks for listening. This is House of Meaning. Until next time.